Hey everyone, welcome back to the Future Transformation Podcast. So we have seen how India's economy has been booming. So every business wants to use data. AI is there, financial inclusion, and lot of things which are happening. And now the people are questioning. So is it data which is getting more use, or is it their privacy which is getting at impact? So business or the organization are also looking into to get more value out of the data, or give more control, trust, and transparency to the users, and how to provide assurance to the legal team, the boards, or the stakeholders, or and users, right? So a lot of those discussions which we are going to talk in this podcast today. And to have a discussion on this with me, I have Mr. Bharat Panchal. uh, I guess already know him. If not, sir, the audience who is here, and 1% people, if they don't know you, how you will like to tell them that who you are?
I'm the risky monk. That's how I'm being known. But yes, thanks Gaurav for introducing me. I'm currently working with Discover Financial Services as Chief Risk and Regulatory Officer for APEC and Middle East. But as most of the people know me, I'm one of the co-founder at NPCI. I work for NPCI for nearly 9+ years. Design security risk and compliance framework around all the product of NPCI and the flagship product UPI.
Yeah.
So that's what.
So UPI, here it is, right? So now a lot of those things which are there, so financial perspective things. But today, when we look into the organization, how they are using data, and they want to use the data without crossing the personal boundaries, and to cater into that, the DPDPA Act which has came in. So, what is your take on that? What do you think the prime motive behind this particular act?
So I believe, leave apart the legal terminology of the act, it is a cultural shift. Why DPDP is very important for India in today's parlance? Because if we see from old days when we used to have our information shut up open in public domain, sharing is caring. That's what our people always
Mm.
think, that okay, there's nothing wrong to share information with even a stranger. But now in the technology driven world, I think data has become an oil, and data is become prime asset for anybody to secure. And I think India, as one of the biggest country in the world, generating billion of data every day. Because if we see comparative study of 1+ billion mobile phone, 1.4 Aadhaar card, a billion transaction a day in UPI, that collectively generate huge data. And unfortunately we are not having any legal guardrail about how to secure the data, how to share the data, and how legitimately we need to use the data. So I think the DPDP Act is a strong cultural shift. It's not a compliance, it's not a tick in the box. It is a design principle where you need to shift your thinking to make sure that you handle the data, you as a you as a data owner, or do you as a data fiduciary or data repository. I think that's where the largest objective of having DPDP for India.
Okay, and while understanding it, you have to read a lot of things. And what are the major misconceptions which organizations have currently?
So the major misconceptions, let me give one out of the track
Mm.
example. When you go to shop, especially in shopping mall, the moment you come to a billing counter, the guy simply asks you, give me your mobile number. Now that's where the misconceptions start. That why you need a mobile number?
Mm.
No, we need to have, that is mandatory for billing. There is absolutely no need for billing. Without mobile, you are doing billing so far, right? Where is the question of having mobile number with you? Because no, then the misconception start. Okay, if you do not give bill mobile number, then probably we may not be able to exchange your goods, whatever you have taken. That's a misconception. Just because you have access to data, or you have such a position to get the data, you start grabbing data. I think that's where the misconception start. And why it was? Because so far there was no legal guardrail, as I said earlier, that DPDP give that clear, that you should
Okay.
know why you need data. You have right to question why my data is needed. And once I give data, what are you going to do it?
Mm.
What are you going to do with the data? Because today, I mean, when it's not only just a theoretical misconception, practically, at least 10 call every day you are getting, out of which 8 calls are either from Bajaj Finance, Star Health Insurance, or something similar company. They are just selling. Okay, now from where they are getting data? Because when you have given a data to X, the X has monetized the data. X has given to 10 different parties. 10 different parties call it to 100 people, and that is how the whole model works. I think that misconception has to be curbed with the very stronger compliance to the Data Privacy Act, and that's where the cultural shift will come.
Fair enough. And do you think when India we are building up DPDP, how it should be different from the global laws like GDPR, CCPA, or it's just inherit all those principles which they have and then build something on it?
So, Gaurav, I think there's a fundamental disconnect or disjoint. I would say that not only in privacy, even in security or many other things, we we tend to compare ourselves with the world. We are the benchmark. Let world take as us as a benchmark, because let me confine only to privacy. In the Western world, the privacy is such a part of their lifestyle. Like one simple example: if someone is detected with a very serious disease like cancer in Western world, only that person knows, and the doctor knows. Nobody knows. Why? Because they believe it is very, very personal to them, right? And that's why the HIPAA and all similar laws came much before in US and other countries. Now, on the contrary, when you come to India, except the patient who has who has been detected with cancer, rest the world knows. Why? Because that is our society, right? So if we compare ourselves with the rest of the world, we are ending up nowhere. India has its own unique culture. India has unique challenges, unique society, unique kind of traditions. You cannot compare. Okay, what GDPR has done in the Europe may be exactly fit into India. No, it is not. India has. You have to keep so many things in mind. You have to keep the societal act, the societal impact. You have to check the ethnic groups sensitivity, because some of the social circle, you have to be very, very mindful about the privacy and the gesture and the kind of interaction what you have, right? So similarly, when it comes to act, I think the wise lawmaker has kept that thing in mind, that what India deserve and what India need. I think going forward, though, but the act is about to see the actual ray of light. I'm sure that when we will do this, world will take this as an example, like what we did in the banking revolution, like UPI and all the product. The world is seeing at India that how these people have made this completely different. Something similar I foresee here when it comes to implementation of DPDP, because that will bring a lot of different perspectives. People, one good part I must say that at least with the penetration of technology and social media and awareness about the technology among the society, people have realized that okay, some information is for me and for me only. I need not to disclose to the world, and that's a cultural shift. Help with the help of such a law is going to make India different from rest of the world.
Fair enough, and that gives a clear context that how we have to do it differently, and when it's a part of doing right. In DPDP, I will say there are two parties to it. One is the user, another is the organization, right? And for both of them, what should think they should take care of? Like organization, if they want to be ready by March 27, right? So what all they should do, and for user, what he should start taking care from now itself.
So the user, for example, I am the user. Today, I am a blank. I'm completely blank. The moment I share something to somebody, where it is going to land, who is going to access, who is going to use, who is going to misuse, we really don't have any idea. See, the good part, the biggest power by DPDP is given in the hand of user, or in the parlance of DPDP, it's called principal, data principal. I should know whom I am giving my data. So at least I have complete visibility. I expect I expect complete visibility the moment I give my data to you.
Mm.
For what purpose you are taking, and what proportionate the data you are taking, because not everything is needed for me to share with you, right?
Exactly.
Only what I need or what you need, I need to give only that data. And once I give that data, see today, as I said, that if I give my data to you, it may fall in 100 different hands the moment I give it to you. At least now by act you are forced, I mean you as an organization, you are forced to maintain the traceability, because I should know that I have given a consent, and I have given a consent for what. I have given only necessary information to be collected, and only for specific purpose. Now it is organization's duty to make that consent transparently visible, and also traceable, because you know you just cannot raise your hand, okay boss, I know you gave us data, but I don't know how it has fallen into different hand. No, you cannot do now. All gold days are gone now. You have to be responsible, you have to be I would say kind of honor of the data, as you have fiduciary responsibility to ensure that whatever data you have collected from the user are kept in safe and secure manner. And I as a user, when I want to say, hey boss, enough is enough, I don't want my data to be used anymore, so I want to revoke my consent, I have to have that ability as a user, and the organization need to provide that facility the moment user asks to revoke it. I think that's a big component which DPDP enforced now.
Yeah, and I think that provides an organization a big challenges to implement this. They have to implement consent, grievance, breach notifications, then also to address all these things like right to audit, right to forget, right to erasure, a lot of those things which you have to do. How the journey should start, and what you are advising, because you must be yourself implementing or in the journey of implementing this. What the challenges you foresee, or what how you will go step by step to fix
See,
this approach?
I would say, Gaurav, it is less technology, more psychological challenges.
Okay.
Why? Because I was talking to somebody yesterday.
Yeah.
I think what is the significance of today's, and it was 6th of April. Then after few minutes I realized, okay, oh, this is the day when RBI came out with the data localization mandate in 2018, mandating that all financial sensitive data must reside in country.
Hmm.
It was a cultural shift. It was very unexpected step taken by RBI, asking everybody to keep data within India. From there, after nearly 8 years, we have crossed a lot of hurdles in terms of data tenancy, data privacy, and all this. So it's not something new for organization. They are aware of. We were immune, rather. Let me use this word. We were immune because you just can walk free in spite of the fact that your data is breached and it has fallen in wrong hand. Right. If you we often see Meta is impose a penalty of few $1 billion, or Google, or many different big names across the world. Why not a single company in India has been fined for data breach? You know, because everybody is taken for granted. Everybody is taken for granted because there was no law, there was no necessity to keep safeguard, or no need to go and publicly disclose that yes, our data is breached. Now, by enforcement of this rule, you are bound to follow those guidelines. Technology, as I said, is absolutely no challenge. There are enough technology available in the world. We have our own practices in place. It is all the intent, because if you think data privacy or privacy per se is just tick in the box, you are committing a big mistake.
Yeah.
That's my advice to the organization, because the moment you will see this is a tick in the box, you
That's
will
wonderful.
land into big trouble, because the law itself is very stringent. And look at I have seen in the past how RBI has taken very stringent action for non-complying to data localization. Data localization was very small part, though it was very impactful for the banking. But when it comes to the nation, and that too with 1.4 billion people. People cannot, I mean, the government and regulator and the policymaker will not allow anymore to play with stringent law, because it's all about the, we think that is just my data or my information. If you see collectively, I think it is a larger national security issue. It's a national economy, it's a national growth. So if you compound all these things, then the impact of data privacy on data tenancy or data residency has become more meaningful in today's time. And therefore, any organization, and it is irrespective if it's pharma or banking or telecom or any other, even retail e-commerce, everywhere they will have to implement those policies. And most importantly, see today, uh, Indian organization, I mean Indian companies, they haven't feel the heat of having data breach, because they need not to disclose, and therefore there won't be impact on the reputation. Reputation is one part, but second important part is their stock price. For example, tomorrow a company, because the law mandate, you have to go and disclose to the stock exchange that you have been breached. Now, look at the second part. The breach, the moment you say it's breach, there are multiple things. Why? Because it is too hard to assess the damage. Not only financial damage, is a reputational risk. Because let me little digress what happened in 2018. The Cosmos Bank, I investigated the whole case. So, I have seen that, kind of impact. It was 100 crore vanished in just few hours. But bank was asked to shut down the digital operations. When the whole nation was, going to a digital revolution. Bank were asked to go back in pen and pencil, normal, conventional branch banking, and they were asked to shut down their operation for 3-4 months. Now, look at the collateral damage because of one, not about the money which went out, but the reputation, the customer dissatisfaction, regulatory intervention. Something similar will now be prevalent for any new organization which is breached, and they by provision of the act, they have to disclose they have been breached. Not only that, even if my data they are kept for once, they are not misused ever. But if my data is involved in the data breach, I am eligible to get compensation from that company. So if you see in larger picture, my only advice to every organization, आग से मत खेलो. It's like a fire.
Okay. सही है. So आग से मत खेलो, और आज आग से खेलने के लिए आजकल AI भी आ रही है. So AI and privacy का mixture आपको क्या लगता है? With the AI coming in and most of the organization implementing, because क्या है ना, what we can do, implement what is in our control, right? So the human behavior, human people, the AI, which is now going beyond or out of the control, and it is coming in from the different organizations, different models, and some organizations are even implementing it. They don't even understand what is and how it is working behind, what is going on. So when organizations are using those kind of tools, will privacy be taken care of, or what challenges you see with the combination of AI with privacy?
So, well, I have a mixed viewpoint about AI, because it is going to make your privacy harder. Why? Because the way automation may happen, the way a different model will come, the way data churning will happen using AI, that is going to be phenomenal. Is going to be a very steep for any company to make privacy much more stronger, because when AI is there, there are set rules, there are kind of model which will take care of the privacy right from the beginning itself. Because so far we think that rather the misconception that data security or privacy security sort of thing is a responsibility of IT team or the security team and all this. Look at the banking, the DSA, direct sales agent, who is taking your information to filling up a form for credit card. The privacy start from there.
There.
How that guy is going to make sure that your data is kept safe throughout the chain. So if we start from there, I think the AI will be a last stage, I mean second stage rather, I would say. Right. It is also a weaker point. Why? Because it is going to make uh, very prudent risk principle. We always say is all we do not keep all eggs in one basket, right? So
Yeah.
if the AI, if somewhere it is misbehaved, then it can explode. It can go into different sort of dimension in terms of the damage. However, I have my own view about AI, because AI is something what we believe is going to make a miracle. No, it is not. Ultimately, AI is driven by the human intelligence, right? There was one song, "Jitni chabi bari Ram ne, itna chale khilona." I would say, "Jaisi chabi bari, aisa chalega khilona." AI is that. You know how you are going to feed, because ultimately, what is AI? It's not only data; it is your intention. Right? In the data model, you are putting your intention, that what do you want to get out of this AI. So how clear, how transparent, and how honest about your intention, that is what you are going to reflect into the data model, and that's how you'll get the output. So it is a double-edged sword. AI, definitely it is good, but it must be a responsible AI, unbiased and transparent in manner. Then ultimately you will meet your motive to have real privacy in place.
Fair enough. And when we talk about real privacy in the organization today, where do you think the challenge kahan pe hai? Is where organization should get like, okay, everywhere they have the data, the sensitive data, private data, but as you are building, so what all challenges you think as an organization you're gonna have the fixing those points?
Well, the biggest challenge, one need to understand what need to be secured,
Mm.
because we are not able to draw the line why I need to secure it. Because see, security people, they know how to secure it, but they do not know why to secure it. I think there's the biggest misconception going on. I see many CISOs having DPO position also, right? So that is where the first problem comes, because it is just not storing the data in secure manner. They are the best people. The security people are the best people, who only, they are the only people who knows how to secure the data in the right manner. But when it comes to why to secure the data, why I need to give a different treatment to X set of data vis-a-vis Y set of the data, I think the role clarity is the biggest challenge, because everybody in the kind of motion to implement a privacy and privacy related act and provision, organization need to very clearly chalk out what is the privacy model for them, what they are collecting, because many times organization does not know what they are collecting. They have no idea. So first you clear out what you are collecting, why you are collecting, do you require it? Because with all due respect, our the industry, their objective is to monetize the data, largely,
Exactly.
and
This is
nothing wrong into this, nothing wrong. But what you can monetize, what you cannot monetize, where is the boundary, where are you going to draw boundary between that? I think securing data in very secure manner will come at very last stage. First and foremost, theoretically, practically, you need to define your boundaries, why, what and where. I think these three questions to be answered when you design your privacy model. Because again, it is just not collecting data. You have too much of onus on your head. The moment you collect data, you are going to be answerable to multiple people. First and foremost, the user. Second, to the data privacy board, data protection board. Legal aspect, because today, let's say for example, in Domino's breach, my credit card was there. right? And it has a complete history of how many time I have placed my order for Domino pizzas, and including my resident, I couldn't do anything.
Hmm.
In spite of the fact that I am so much so seasoned professional, I could not, because I had no way to drag them into court that breaching my privacy. They simply denied. No, it is not done from our side.
Hmm.
But now today's requirement, you will have to have a traceability for everything. So that is the second aspect, that organization will have to ensure that at every single touch point, you have to ensure there is a proper traceability of all the data, because you will have to put as an admissible evidences in case of data breach, and in case of any legal suit came from any user or any third party where you have shared the data. I think there are multiple. What we are doing, we are just focusing on how to secure data. I think that is secondary. The primary part is the principle. Philosophically, we need to identify what and why we need to secure. That's
Fair
it.
enough, fair enough. I think great talk on that, because uh, the very first part is foundation, that is the data, where you need to identify, classify, and then the another part comes in which DPDPA say, which talks about the control. Because if you don't identify, you will not able to control. Then transparency, then you have to build trust, and then assurance, right? So then it comes out. So now, if I'm doing this particular thing, like when with foundation of control, transparency, trust, and assurance, for the leaders, maybe I will like you to address to the audience directly, people who are listening in, and maybe the upcoming DPOs or upcoming leaders of the security or privacy side. With this privacy and digital economy come the terms which we are using, what skills they should be learning into, and how they should be venturing into that.
Well, when it comes to DPO role, data privacy officer, one need to possess, of course, the legal knowledge, because that's where the largest challenge will come. When things goes fine, I mean, nothing is going abnormal, nobody is going to question you, right? Your data is safe, secure, and it's fully managed well. But the moment there is a breach, the moment there is a claim, you will have to answer so many questions, and DPO is primarily responsible to take the entire kind of problem, answering or addressing the problem with multiple entities, be it legal, be it the law and enforcement, and all this. So, my view, I think DPO should possess first the legal and compliance knowledge. That is foundation thing. I do not expect them to understand the level of encryption, level of different technology to make data secure, because that leave it to the in the hand of security professional. Their role, I mean DPO's role, would be more to define controls, that how data to be collected, how data to be stored, and how data to be accessed. I think the control environment is the responsibility of DPO, and therefore they need to possess at least two major skills. One, the legality of this act, but at the same time they should be able to catch right essence of compliance requirement, because the compliance to your data privacy will either make or break your overall control environment. So my simple advice to DPO: understand the act in full nitty-gritty, try to see whether what controls are needed, ensure those controls are needed, but do not enter into implementing those controls. Leave it to securities people's hand. I think that's where the clear boundary is required.
Fair enough. I think it's great talking to you and getting insightful information. As always, when I speak, I get to learn something new. Okay, but I really remark of like जैसी भरी चाबी वैसा चले खिलौना मतलब that वो तो आज टच कर गया है मतलब I will be gonna use with your due permission somewhere sometime.
No, indeed, because see, that's where the problem is, Gaurav. We as a society, we as an Indian society, first and foremost, we start believing people blindly.
Hmm.
If that's the case, so many gurus we have seen in this country. People would not have, gone and laid down in their charan sparsh vagera, because that's where the problem is. The moment you start believing people blindly, you end up in the problem. Today's time, technology, we are at the, I can guarantee you, next 5 years, we will have explosion of technology. We have not yet reached to that stage, but we are reaching to the stage where everything will be decided by technology. When it is a technology, it is a data. And if we are at the point of no return, where we can go back and use old time of messaging and writing a postcard and all. No, look at old days, postcard. Postcard used to be completely open, exchanging multiple hand, whatever message you want to send. Can you do this today? You cannot, right? Because now the privacy is prevailing. So in today's time, if we start believing blindly, we are going to end up with the problem.
Good.
Good, sir.
I think, thank you. Great. I can talk to you whole day, I know. But yeah, so let's leave it here. And guys, I'll see you in some other episode somewhere soon. And thank you, Panchal ji.
Thank you so much. Thank Gaurav. Always pleasure to meet you, man.